Change. Brought to you by...
You around. Eddie, will you please listen to reason?
I am listening to reason, mine.
Oh, Eddie.
This is an all-request program. What would you like to hear?
I'd like to hear you say yes.
I don't think I know that tune. Hum a few bars and I'll take it.
What is so terrible about moving to a farm?
The fresh air would kill me. I'm a city boy.
No, I'm only asking you to try it for a week.
A week? That's 6 nights and 2 matinees.
Well, think how good it would be for Larry to be raised on a farm.
What's the matter with raising him in New York?
Well, for one thing, he has to take 2 buses and a subway just to get to the Bronx Zoo to see an animal.
Every night in front of the Schubert Theater, there's a horse with a policeman on it.
Would anyone like to hear my opinion?
Whose side are you on, kid?
I'm with Mom.
Well, children should be seen and not heard.
Now, you stay out of this, Larry. I can handle your father.
If you switch sides, I'll raise your allowance.
Larry. Oh, you should have took money a little earlier, Dad. Come on, you sit down here and listen to me for once. Now, my brother says this farm is a steal.
Let him buy it.
But he's got a farm.
And I've got a ticket agency.
Well, I'm not asking you to give up the ticket agency. I'm just asking you to try the farm. And then if we like it, it would be a good investment and a wonderful way of life for all of us.
That, you're not going to turn me into an old McDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
Eddie Walker living on a farm? I don't believe it.
That's right. They're trying it for a week, and if they like it, they'll buy it.
Where is the farm, Patty?
Vermont.
That's one of the colonies we lost.
I think if it was up to my father, you could have it back now.
Now, Neville. Don't open old wounds.
Oh, Mrs. Finch, Heather wants to know if you received that package of Whitfield Rose Elixir.
Oh, yes, dear.
Elixir? Sybil, if you fancy a little drop now and again, why don't you just join me at the pub?
Golly, Finch, you're shocking. Has the plant food helped your roses any?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't used it. You see, I've always fed my roses bone meal and peat moss.
Perhaps that's why your roses never win any prizes.
Well, I'm entering the gardening contest again this year, and maybe this time I'll win. Oh, I do hope so.
Hey, Mum, you ought to try it. Listen to this. Increases growth at least 30%. Fast acting.
Oh, they always say that, Neville. Always.
I'd give it a go if I were you, love. I'm sure Willie Shorthouse uses some sort of preparation on his roses.
Willie Shorthouse.
Well, you've never beaten him yet.
Now, I'm not taking any chances with my roses. If I give them a new plant food now, it might shock their little systems.
Yourself, love. I'm off to the shop. You want a lift?
Oh, yes, please. Yes, I've got to go to the greengrocer's.
Hop on, then.
Righto.
You all right?
Yes.
Here we go.
Oh!
Hold tight.
Oh, she certainly would like to win the rose contest this year, wouldn't she?
Oh, yes. She's frightfully keen on it. The closest she's ever come was getting an honourable mention.
Well, that's something to be proud of.
Not really. It was for her pot, and she borrowed that from Mr. Shorthouse.
Neville, let's play some cribbage.
All right.
You go up and get the board.
Oh, And now for the championship of Birchfield News. Patty, could we have some biscuits while we're playing?
Sure.
Well, if you go and get them, I'll set up the board.
All right.
Get away from me. Why pick on me? I don't even drink milk.
Dad, what are you doing? We're supposed to help me feed the chickens.
Larry's on my way up and I was attacked by this wild animal.
Oh, Dad, you shouldn't be afraid of a cow. She won't hurt you. She only eats hay.
I think this one has a taste for blue denim overalls.
Come on, bossy.
Larry, you're beautiful. Did you ever think of being a bullfighter?
You know, Dad, you've got to get over this animal phobia. You're going to be miserable on the farm.
No, I'm not going to be miserable. I'm going home.
Oh, Dad, you haven't given the farm a chance.
I've given the farm a chance. To look what happened.
What?
Well, I went into the hen house to collect the eggs, and I was attacked by a flock of bloodthirsty chickens.
Dad, those chickens were more afraid of you than you were of them.
Want to bet?
Dad, there's nothing around here to be afraid of.
When I went in to feed the rabbits, I was chased by a man-eating bunny.
Dad.
He'll get his on Easter.
Look, Dad, you can get used to this kind of life.
Not me, Larry. I'm locking myself up in the room. And when the week is up, I'm going home.
How are you going to tell Mom?
I'll pin a note to a pillow.
Dad.
Yeah, you're right. That's the cowardly way. I'll tell it to her face.
That's better.
From a phone booth in Times Square.
Hello.
Hello.
I stopped by the house, but there was nobody there.
Oh, my wife's in town pricing tractors.
Oh, well, I'm Jane Wilson. I live just up the road.
Well, I'm Eddie Walker. This is my son, Larry, the farmer.
Hello, Larry.
What can I do for you?
Well, I'm looking for a spinning wheel.
What's the matter? Yours broken? What's the matter? Did you ever see a funny farmer before?
Well, you see, I'm the manager of the Summer Theater, and we need an old spinning wheel for our next production. I thought you might have one.
Oh, you want it for a prop?
Yes, we're doing the Crucible next week.
Oh, no. We don't have any.
Oh, dear. Well, thank you anyway.
You ever think of doing a musical?
Really? That type of talent is hard to find.
Well, I don't think you got the name. Walker?
Yes, Eddie Walker.
No, that's, Eddie Walker.
Oh, of course. Now the name rings a bell. You're in the antique business.
You're close. He was in vaudeville.
Larry, don't brag. If I didn't stop me, tell you how I played the Palace.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes. Next to closing on 3 bookings. Broke the house record the last time.
But he's retired now.
Well, semi-retired. Tell me, what kind of music have you got in mind?
Well, I didn't have any planned.
Well, how about something like New Moon?
New Moon.
Yes. Oh, give me some men who are stout. Thank you.
That's marvelous.
But, Dad, aren't you going back to New York next week?
What, leave my cows, chickens, and bunnies?
It'd be a very exciting idea to do a musical. But I'm afraid we'd have a problem casting the rest of the show.
Well, I've already got the ingenue. Give me a couple of days and we'll audition for you.
Fine. I'll bring the director over on Friday.
Good. See you Friday.
Okay, bye-bye.
Oh. Larry, I'm back on the board.
But what about the Eddie Walker ticket agency?
Oh, Frank can handle that.
And what's going to happen when Mom finds out?
Well, we'll have to keep it from her until we bought the farm. Oh, this is going to be a great life. Your mother on a tractor and me on the stage.
Good morning, Sybil. Tending your roses, I see.
Yes,
They should be quite nice when they're fully grown.
they are fully grown.
These are. Same climate, same soil conditions. But mine are 4 inches taller, and the blossoms are much bigger than yours.
Willie, these are Lady Bedlingtons. And as you should know, their blooms are always smaller and far more delicate in colour than those great red cabbages of yours.
Well, that's hardly the spirit of British competition, Sybil. However, I dare say you'll be singing a different tune when my red cabbages carry off the top honours. Good morning.
does it. Last night the hot water heater went out. This morning the stove went out, and now it's the pump. I don't know. I don't know how those pioneer farm people ever got along. Well, I guess they ate out a lot. Where's your father?
He's working out in the barn.
In the barn. Working? In the barn?
If you can't say anything nice, don't say anything.
How was that, Mr. Walker?
Great. We'll put in the shim-sham break at the end of the first chorus, and we'll knock him in the aisle.
Fine. Mrs. Walker must certainly be pleased with you settling down to farm life so well.
Well, speaking of Mrs. Walker, let's not mention about the show just yet.
Oh, I won't say a word, but hope it can depend on her.
Thank you, Bossy. Isn't she beautiful? If I was a bull, I'd kiss you.
All right. What are you doing out here?
There's plenty to do on a farm.
Yes, I know there's plenty to do, and I've been doing it. But just what are you up to?
Well, I've been feeding my livestock, the little darlings.
May I ask what the piano is doing out here in the barn?
Well, it's quite obvious, isn't it?
I'm a little dumb. Tell me.
Well, if you don't know, why don't you read the Farmer's Digest like I did?
What did it say, Farmer in the Dell?
Well, it says that music increases milk and egg production.
And it's working, too.
What did you say for the cow? Pale hands I love?
Well, if the lady could talk, she'd tell you how music changed her whole life.
And the chickens seem to like it.
Check those nests, Dorothy. Extra large eggs from dancing hens.
Oh, really? Well, that's refreshing. Having the audience lay the eggs for a change.
I never realized how wonderful it could be on a farm.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Dr. Templewood, how are you?
Busy, Finch, busy. Just delivered a fine baby girl at the Cartwrights.
Ah, then you could do with a drink. George, a drink for the doctor.
Whiskey, George.
Now, Finch, I am shocked.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to buy the doctor a drink?
Certainly not.
I thought not. George, a whiskey for the doctor.
Finch, I repeat that I am shocked. You know fully well that Dr. Templewood here is the judge for the district rose growing competition in which your wife has entered.
That's ridiculous. I'm not interested in roses.
Well, since when were you so fascinated with babies?
Willie, the drink was for Dr. Templewood, not the Cartwright baby.
That's exactly it. I've seen his wife's roses, and I know why he's trying to bribe the doctor.
Hey, Willie, Sybil's roses are the finest in London. If anybody's roses needed bribing, they're yours.
Listen to this. This is the man who's not interested in roses.
I wasn't, until now. But nothing would give me more pleasure than to see Sybil's roses give yours a thorough drubbing.
Those scrubby little blossoms can hardly hold up their heads.
George, I think I'd better get out of here before I do something I'll regret. I think you'd better buy your own drink, Dr. Templewood. Give my regards to the Cartwright baby.
Cheers.
Here we are, George.
Oh, no need for that, Doctor, just because of Finch's bad temper. I'll take care of it. This one's on me.
You ready for the audition?
Audition. Larry, you promised me I wouldn't panic.
Take it easy, Dad.
But you've done thousands of performances.
Yeah, and he's panicked at every one of them.
Larry, tell me again about my voice being like a nightingale.
Dad, you'll be all right.
How do you know?
Because you panic before a performance, never during one.
Oh, you're right, Larry. What am I worrying about?
Oh, hi, Miss Wilson. Hello, Larry. Eddie, I'd like you to meet our director, Jack Hampton.
Eddie? How are you, sir? Meet my son, Larry. This is my protege, Miss Heather Finch.
How do you do?
Just back from a successful season in London.
Hello, Heather.
Now, if you'll just pull up a bale of hay, we'll sing and dance right into your hearts.
Good.
Music, maestro. Me and my shadow strolling down the avenue. Me and my shadow, not a soul to tell our troubles to. And when it's 12 o'clock, we climb the stairs. We never knock, for nobody's there. Just me and my shadow, all alone and feeling blue.
Eddie, you're great. Heather, you're in.
You're both marvelous.
Thank
Let's
you.
schedule a musical next week. Let me see, how about pajama game?
Oh, that's perfect. We could go into rehearsal in a few days if that's all right with you.
Good.
Oh, wonderful. Well, we better be running along. We've got a lot to do. Thanks, Eddie.
Thank you for
Bye-bye,
coming.
Heather. Bye, Larry.
Nice to see you.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Heather, you stick with me, you'll have your name up in lights.
Yeah, over a barn. Anyone for milking cows?
See, I thought you were down getting shoes for the horse.
They didn't have the right size.
Doctor, we can explain the whole thing, can't you, Heather?
Well, of course I can. Can't you, Larry? I pass. Back to you, Dad. If you don't mind, I'll pick up the bidding. So this is why you suddenly fell in love with the farm?
Well, isn't that what you wanted, Mom?
Yes, it's the dream of my life. Eddie Walker, back in show business.
I better go and talk to her.
Larry, your mother's mad at me. What'll I do?
Sit down, Dad. Now repeat after me. There is no reason to panic.
There is no reason to panic.
I am master of the situation.
I am master of the situation.
I am head of the house.
I am head of the house. Larry, you're beautiful.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Walker. I guess I should have told you what was going on.
Oh, no, Heather, don't you feel that way. You were just protecting Eddie.
Are you that upset about him doing the show?
Oh, no, it's not that. It's the farm that's got me down.
I thought you were mad about it.
Yes, I was when I was in New York. No, it was going to mean an 18-hour day with a broken water pump, an early American stove, and 3 pigs for a garbage disposal.
I'm sure if you told Mr. Walker how you feel, he'd agree to go back to New York.
Oh, no, I can't now.
Oh, why not?
After the way I raved about the farm, no. He'd think it was just because I wanted him out of the show.
But surely I'm
No,
sure...
Heather. That wouldn't be fair to Eddie. No. I've made my hay, and now I'm going to have to lie in it.
There we are.
Oh, isn't it a relief to be home after such a nerve-wracking day?
Only nerve-wracking for the losers, love.
Did you hear Neville and me scream when they announced that you were the winner?
I still say we should have carried Mum shoulder high through the news.
I think that'll be a little more than Willie Shorthouse could bear.
He wasn't very gracious. He didn't even come over and congratulate Mrs. Finch.
Yes. He just sat there, sobbing.
Well, ta-da-da! I think a little celebration is called for. I have got a surprise for all of you.
Where are we going to put the cup, Mum?
Oh, anywhere will do, Neville. I don't want to be showy.
What about on the telly?
I think it'd look a lot better on the mantelpiece.
Well, I'm afraid it's a little dark there.
We could always put a spotlight on it.
Here we are. A little champagne toast to a lovely lady and her lovely roses.
Oh, Tommy.
I think you'd better switch to tea, Dad.
I get it. Hello, Dr. Templewood, Mr. Shorthouse.
Dr. Templewood and Willie. I knew you'd be a sport about this. You're just in time to drink a toast to Sybil.
If I were you, Finch, I wouldn't be in too much of a hurry to open that bottle of champagne.
Oh, may I ask why?
I'm afraid there's been a little foul play, Finch.
What on earth do you mean, Willie?
Sybil, it pains me to tell you this, but I've lodged a protest with Dr. Templewood.
A protest about what?
I found this package of American plant food next to your window box.
Well, what difference does that make?
The rules of the competition specifically state that the roses shall be indigenous to England and purely a product of English soil.
Do they also state that we have to use English fertilizer?
Yes, Finch, I'm afraid that is implied by the rules.
And you can plainly see here that it states, and I quote, distributed in the USA by the Garden Products Company of Cleveland, Ohio. Doctor, as chief judge of the contest, I must call upon you to disqualify this entry on the grounds of misrepresentation and fraud.
Willie, how could you?
What you say, Willie, may be true, but I must tell you that Sybil is completely innocent of the charge. I was the one that put the preparation on those roses.
Dad, no need to cover up for me. I was the one who put the preparation onto the roses.
Oh, Neville, this is no time for chivalry. I was the one who put the preparation on the roses.
Well, if the contestant was not actually aware of the act...
It's no good, Doctor. They're all covering up for me. I did it. And I'll take the blame.
I did it!
Oh, good heavens. No wonder they grew so enormous.
Well, Doctor?
I'm sorry, Mrs. Finch, but I'm afraid you're disqualified. The cup will have to go back to Mr. Shorthouse.
Well, then just stand there, man. Open the champagne.
Just a minute, Mr. Shorthouse.
Well, what is it, Neville?
Are you familiar with the Whitfield and Mannering Chemical Works?
Why, certainly they're in the Tottenham Court Road.
Read that, please, Dad.
Distributed in the USA by the Garden Product Company of Cleveland, Ohio. Manufactured by Whitfield and Mannering Chemical Works, Tottenham Court Road.
And it was made right here in England.
Thank you, Willie. Congratulations all over again, love.
This is really very embarrassing.
Well, I seem to have trodden on my own foot. My apologies. And just to show that there are no hard feelings, I will have a glass of champagne.
3 cheers for Mum. Hip, hip.
Hooray!
Hip, hip. Hooray! Hip, hip. Hooray! Speed!
Eddie, you better come in and get cleaned up. Dinner's almost ready. Oh, what happened to the piano?
All right, send it back. We won't be needing it anymore.
What about the show?
Well, I'm not going to do it. You imagine Billy and me, Eddie Walker, below 4 amateurs?
What are you going to do?
Well, you won't like to hear this, Dorothy, but we're leaving the farm.
Leaving the farm?
That's right. I know you love the long day, and the last with the early American stove, but I'm putting my foot down.
Eddie, when you put your foot down, you're magnificent.
Kids, hurry up and pack. We're going home.
Going home? Dad, aren't you going to do the show?
No, Larry.
But why not?
That was a question of billing.
Billy, you never had billing like this in your life.
Oh, Larry, put that thing away.
Say, what's going on?
It's your father, Larry. He's beautiful.